Hello, it's Dory from Dory's Spot or Bit of Everything. I just came on here because I'm bored, have nothing to do. I don't have any friends. Not because I don't want to, but because my friends are ones I need to stay away from. See, when I'm 60, I'll be 64 next month. And when I was in my 30s, mind you, when I started in my 30s, I became a drug addict and an alcoholic. Big time, bad. And I had a lot of friends, a lot of friends. Always had company, always had people over, always had parties, always going out to bars. Was always doing something with the father of my kids, who has passed away. Oh God, it's gonna be 27 years now? Wow. 26 years. He died. Complications from hepatitis C brought on through drug use. Infected needle somehow. Which, by the way, I also contacted hepatitis C, but was cured like 3 years ago. So, all our friends were also alcoholics and drug addicts and thieves and everything else. And after he died, I went nuts. I didn't want to grieve, so I started using more and drinking more and trying to raise 2 kids. Yes, at that point I was an unfit mother, but I had nobody. All my friends were his friends. So after he died, there was like nobody else around. Nobody came around anymore. So I had met up with one of his friends. We got together. We started going out. Then I moved to Kentucky to be with him and continued using drugs big time, drinking like a fish. Terrible life. Terrible, terrible life. At the time, I didn't think it was so terrible. I was having fun. But then one day I just thought, I keep drinking like this and using drugs, my liver's going to fail and I'm going to die. So this guy also we got into a fight and he put his hands on my throat and I was scared to death. And the next day while he was working, I went to the neighbors, used the phone, called my sister and told her what was happening. And she came, she sent bus tickets for me, so I was able to come home. But then I continued drinking. That was the big thing. I had more or less stopped using drugs, but I was drinking, making bad mistakes. Then he followed me from Kentucky to Cleveland, and because I didn't have friends, because they were all in Kentucky, I went back to him and we started just messing up big time. I lost custody of my kids. My sister took them. And then they went to live with my niece, who had money and was able to take better care of them. These are all things I don't want to admit, but I might as well tell you my story because I don't have anyone else to tell. So I got arrested, and it was a felony. So I went to county jail where I stayed for 6 months. then they sent me to treatment for 3 months, and then 3/4 way for another 3 months. And then it took me a year after that to get my kids back. But I was working, I stopped using drugs, I wasn't drinking, and I had no friends because I had to stay away from those friends. You have to stay away from those friends or you'll go right back down. It's very easy, and I was very tempted many times just trying to get with some of my old friends and saying that I just won't use. I'll let them do all the using. Sorry, fruit flies. So I managed to stay clean and sober for 20 years. 21 years. I started drinking when I hooked up with this other guy, an older guy my age, 62 years old. And he was the same thing like me. He had hepatitis C. He also got cured. He was an alcoholic. He also stopped drinking, but he was only clean for 5 years. And he just kept saying, well, I sure would like a glass of wine. I sure would like a glass of wine. And I wasn't happy. I didn't realize that I really wasn't happy in that relationship. And then I started drinking again. But I didn't go back to the way I was drinking. I only drink if we go out, or if, oh, he's dead now too, by the way. I just drink if I go out with my daughter, or we go on vacation, which is once a year, and we probably go out maybe 3 times a year. And sometimes at home I'll sit, if I'm really bored, I'll go get some wine and wine coolers. So I'm doing okay on that. I'm on a medication for pain. It's not like Percocet or Vicodin or anything like that, but it's similar. And I take it like I'm supposed to. I don't overdo it. I don't take more than I'm supposed to. I actually take it because I seriously need it for the pain. And I'm doing okay, but I'm bored. And I have no friends. I have no one to talk to. I'm kind of a loner to begin with. I don't go out to bars. I could go out to bars and make friends, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to go down that path again. I live here with my daughter, her husband, and my 2 grandchildren. And I stay in the basement. And I feel like a hermit. I don't go anywhere. I don't do that. I work. I deliver food. So I go out every day about 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning, and I do my job. But it's hectic, and it's really frustrating sometimes because people are nasty. And a lot of them don't tip, and you might go 8 miles to deliver their food, and you don't even get a tip, and you might make $5 for that trip, and you're using all your gas, wear and tear on your car, all that stuff. And now my car's acting up. It jerks. When you accelerate, it'll jerk. And sometimes it stalls, so now I'm stressed out about that. I don't get paid till next week, so I can't do anything about it. My son-in-law uses my car on Wednesdays and Fridays, and he takes the highway, and he has to go around Dead Man's Curve and all that. And my car is not fit for that. So I have to get it fixed. I gotta find a mechanic, like a backyard mechanic, because I don't trust shops. I think they will honestly take advantage of me if I go in there and say, yeah, my car jerks every time I accelerate. Oh, it's your transmission. You need a whole new transmission. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm stressed about that. I'm stressed because I am bored. I paint. Not good, but I paint. And that helps me. That takes me away a little bit. But I still would like someone to talk to. So I'm waiting for my webcam camera so I can put it on my laptop, because mine in my laptop doesn't work. And I'm going to go live and try to see if I can get a couple followers, at least someone to talk to. I don't know. We'll see how it works. Meantime, I'm just doing this. Boring, yes, I know. But I just thought I'd put myself out there so you could see who's behind Gertie and Oscar. The joke-telling granny, that's me. The guy that comes in, Oscar, and tells a few jokes, that's also me. I am trying to keep finding things to do on YouTube because it gives me something to do. It makes me feel kind of good. I'm just kind of boring. I'm like, before I put this phone on, the camera on, I can think of all kinds of things to say and funny things to say. And as soon as I put this camera on, I freeze up. Yeah, excuse me, I gotta take a hit. So, this is not weed, by the way, it's just a vape. But I'm going to stop now and I'll come up with a part 2 when I have a little bit more to say. I got a lot to say. I just want to ease into it. So, okay, well, I'm going to sign off. Like and subscribe for more fun with Dory. Bye, guys.